This is a demonstration of the new visual rule available to do an update for external change in Product Template Author in NX2506, the June 2025 release of NX. This new control is perfect for situations where you have a set of options that are being read from an external source like Excel, and these options might be changing frequently, or they might be being edited by someone else while you work. So you need to check frequently for changes or updates. Normally in NX we can perform a manual update for external change using either the expressions dialog, a button in the expressions dialog, or from the menus. But we can also automate this in a few ways using product templates. Now, a quick word here. Many things in Template Studio Author are common controls that can be used across product templates and feature templates and deformable components, now that all of these things are authored in the Template Studio Author environment. This particular one, this visual rule for update for external change, is just for product templates though, and I'll tell you why. It's because this visual rule triggers a model update. And NX doesn't like to do model updates while it's already in the middle of another model update. We intentionally don't include this visual rule when you're authoring a feature template or a deformable component. Again, this update within an update is a no-no, and so this one is for product templates only. Now, here's an example showing how it works and when you might use this thing. Okay, this product template that we're looking at here has a nested set of menus here that are driven by Excel. Okay, this is an older technique for doing this. This is not using the new nested options control, but this particular one is using again a spreadsheet out here that lets us choose a material type. As we choose the material type, it has some different options for a material down below, and each of these corresponds to a thickness out here. Okay, now this is just to show this nested relationship between choosing a material, choosing a material type, choosing a specific material, and getting a thickness down there. So if I choose the 1 here, we'll get a smaller thickness. I think it's 3, and that are 2 actually. So that we get a very thin one with steel 1. If we come to steel 4, we get a big chunky one here. And if we choose this aluminum instead of steel, you will hear, right? You'll notice that the options below will switch to be aluminum instead. Okay, and we'll get this kind of action. And these aluminums now have different thicknesses of their own. Okay, right now they happen to have the same number of options. There are 4 of them there, but that can be different. We'll see that in a minute as well. Similarly here, I've got a third one that's plastic. Right? And if I choose the plastic ones, they'll be thicker still. And again, I can choose them to be relatively thin or choose them to be relatively thick from my option menus here. Okay, so we've got kind of 3 levels of nested menus here that we're looking at on these guys. And let's see how that's put together and see one of the pitfalls here. Okay, this right now is set up in Product Template Author specifically with again a few option menus, right? These are just expressions. There's some PTS first choice and second choice and a current thickness down here. These are set to be list expressions. We're swapping in the contents of a list expression here for the second choice using some logic in our expressions out there. Similarly, our thicknesses, we're also swapping that in with some logic as well. Okay, let's see, and this is that PTS current thickness down here, right? That we're doing that with. Now, each of these things. Oh, this one's the label, right? This one's not the option. This one's showing this in here with 4 decimal places on that thickness. In fact, we can make that smaller because we know we are not using all of those. There's another new feature, this decimal places control in NX2506. With these guys up above, right? With both of these here, we've set this to update for external change here. Okay, and what this is going to do is go out and look at the spreadsheet anytime we touch this control. Similarly with the second one, we've done the same update for external change. So if we change either of these, it's going to go and look at the spreadsheet. But it's not going to go look at the spreadsheet until we do. okay? And that's the one shortcoming that we've had here. We're going to introduce the ability to have it go look whenever you want to, okay? And we'll do that using a visual rule. So this current behavior, let's go look at this in a little more detail, okay? If I'm out here, for instance, and I actually, before I go in there, let's go back to our spreadsheet for a minute and look at the spreadsheet, okay? In our spreadsheet, we have this list of types. Based on a selection of one of those types, we're going to do a lookup over here and come and find, actually there's an index that tells us that the steels are here and that the aluminums are here and that the plastics are here, okay? Just based on an index that's hard-coded in there for the location of those. And based on that, we're going to go look up in this table to find the thickness, okay? And we can do that from NX. We have some Excel lookup functions that we can use to do that. What I want to do here is edit this list of steels now so that it has some more options, okay? I'm just going to drag that down to duplicate or extend some cells there. So now we've got some more options available for steel. I'm going to save this so that NX can find it. It's going to read that new data on disk. And again, we're going to do that external change, update for external change right now when we touch one of these, right? After we touch one of these. So right now, the dialog has not yet looked at the new spreadsheet yet, right? And so as we go in here, we see only those 4 options, okay? Now, with that said, once we change this value, specifically once we change the value here, right? Right now, there's a little bit longer wait, you might have noticed there, and that's actually going out and rereading the spreadsheet right at that moment. And so now we see all those new options, right? But we didn't see those until we changed a value once, okay? And that's an important thing. We want to sometimes be able to see all those options from the very beginning, okay? And that's where we've thought about how to do this. We've done it in a very flexible way using a visual rule. It's a little more complex to set up, but not hard. And if you're in authoring and you're doing this and you're doing a moderately complex template anyway, then we figured visual rules would be a great way to get it done. So let's go take a look at how we could change this dialog so that maybe when we first bring up the dialog, right, it'll immediately go out and do that update for external change, update any of these that we need to, and then turn us loose with all the options available the first time we look at it, okay? Let's go into our product template author and set up a visual rule to do this. We're going to do this on our main dialog right here. We have the option here to add an action when the dialog opens or when the dialog closes, right? And we can choose to run a journal here, or we can do a visual rule. And I'm going to use a visual rule here to do that update for external change, our new visual rule. To do that, let's create one. So we've got a visual rule dialog over here. We're going to come and start a new one, and we'll call this our my update, just for fun. And with that, it's going to create a new visual rule. We'll give you our start button by default or start by default. And then we're going to come over into our visual rules here and say, let's go down to our actions and grab our update for external change. And we'll come and drag that out here and just hook this up. Okay. So simple visual rule here. It's going to always have a start. And that's going to flow downward here. And this is the only thing we're going to do, is this update for external change. So this is done. And with that, let's go ahead and close this. We can go back to our dialog. And now in our main dialog, we can grab that action down there on dialog open. And we can say we want to run a visual rule when this dialog opens. And the visual rule we want to run, I'm going to double click here. Actually, I'm going to right click here. And it's going to give me the list of all the visual rules in this part. And so my update is there now. It's available. I'll select that guy. So this is going to tell us again that when we run this dialog, when we open this dialog, it's going to come and do that my update. Okay? Good. We can do that same kind of thing with numbers down here, right? With these, as we change these. Again, I've got that update for external change on there already. We could similarly do a visual rule here, but this is also saying when the value changes, we're going to do it. So putting that update for visual external change visual rule here would really have the same effect as this, right? Just to be clear about when things are happening. Okay, so again, we're going to see this when we make the value change up there, like we did when we chose selected something in this option menu. But from our main dialog here, now we're going to see this action kick off immediately when we open the dialog. Okay, so let's do that. Let's finish this here. We'll come out and do this update for external change, or sorry, do this edit reusable component. Right now we've got that set of 8 in here for the steels. Aluminum here should still have 4, right? So we just see the 4 in here for aluminum right now. Okay, let's go back to steel, and we're going to edit aluminum here just for fun. Okay, I'm going to say OK, and so we're going to get ready to come in and do that. And we'll come over here to our aluminums, right? And let's add a whole bunch of aluminums just for fun. And so we've got a bunch of those guys. Again, we do need to save this out here so that NX can read it. And with all those aluminums in place now, as we come in to do our edit reusable component, again, we're going to hit our visual rule now. We have a trigger here to execute our visual rule when we open the dialog. So it's going to go ping the spreadsheet first on the way in. Again, a little longer update right there because it's going out to the spreadsheet. And now if we come and look at the aluminums, it's going to, again, ping right there because we changed the value, and there they all are. Okay. Now, looking at this the way I did it, right, we actually had to touch that first one before we got to the second one. And so that didn't really illustrate what we need to do. Let's do it one more time, but I'm going to do it this time with the plastics. Okay. The plastics now have just 4 in there. I'm going to save it here, or leave it here in the plastic case. Okay. And then we'll come out here to our plastics. Let's add a couple more of those, and now save it. And now these guys are ready to get found. Okay, so we should have 6 here when we come in. As we edit reusable component, again, we're going to come in back in the plastic case because that's where we were. And now when we touch this guy, again, we ran that update for external change when we open the dialog, and so all 6 of those are immediately available now. Okay, and that's the intent of what this new rule is doing. Okay, so again, this is for use in product templates only, right? Because it's doing an update. We can't do an update during an update while we're doing a feature update already. And this is going to go out and be used for situations like this, where we may have a dynamic set of options that are out in a spreadsheet, for instance. And we want to make sure we're always checking to make sure that these have not changed, or to find any new options that might be available out there. Okay, very good. I hope you find that useful.